Thank you. I'm Rosanna from Brazil. I'm at Rosanna on Twitter. How do you feel when you're back here to become an extraordinary person? Because there's no way you can just behave like a regular person. You're not. So how does it feel? Because your whole family probably is called the wife of the astronaut, or the kids, or the neighbor. You know, like everybody refers to you as an extraordinary being. How does that feel? How do you go to, I don't know, Walmart and shop? How do you do that?
Yeah, we still go to Walmart. But yeah, I think, you know, we just consider ourselves to be very lucky and you know, very honored to have been able to do this. And I think that's the perspective that I certainly embrace. And I think most of the other people that do it too embrace that perspective. Because really, it's, I think going in outer space is something that really almost anybody can do. And I think, you know, everybody should have the chance to do it. You know, it's a fabulous view of the planet. It kind of changes your perspective in certain ways of you know, how you think about planet Earth. So I think, you know, we just consider ourselves to be lucky that we have this, you know, agency that's really behind us and able to execute going into space safely. And you know, hopefully in the future it'll open up more and more people can go. I think in the near future, obviously, with you know, commercialization, it'll be mostly just rich people who are able to go. That hopefully, eventually, it'll be, you know, more and more people will become more like airlines, you know, going into at least low Earth orbit, so that everybody can see it.
Hi, my name's Don from Wisconsin, by way of Fort Bliss, Texas. When I was at the launch tweet up for 129, I had the chance to talk for a little bit in the Launch Status Center at the Visitor Center with your MIT housemate, whose son was there. And as he was talking to his son, he was like, "See, that's Uncle Bobby." And we were watching the RPM. After that, I went over to the gift shop, and your wife was in line right in front of me, talking to the manager. Can you talk for a little bit about, during the mission, say anything special that you might try to do for your friends and family? I know we see about, you know, this flag got flown in space and you present it to your alma mater, but what about more on a personal level? What does NASA give you the ability to do as an astronaut to kind of, you know, say thank you to the people who really, in your personal life, make this all possible for you?
Yeah, it's, as you can imagine, there's a premium on, you know, what gets carried up, since our main objective is carrying up supplies and everything for the space station. But, you know, we each have a small clothing locker where we carry our clothes that we're wearing, and you know, you're usually allowed to bring a few personal items in those also. And that's usually how you do things personally for your family. You know, most people will bring like a photograph or something like that you know, you can kind of show that it got flown. And, you know, just little small trinkets like that. So really, I think the main thing that you do really is the, you know, the photographs you take and the videos you shoot. I mean, in addition to the video you saw there, you know, we do videos and kind of personalize some of those for, you know, for our families. So that's probably the main thing, is kind of the photographs and the videos.
My name's Janelle Wilson, and I'm a teacher. I teach 6th grade students earth science, so I asked them to write a couple questions. And overall, what they were wondering is, what's it like sleeping and exercising in space? If you get scared, and is it fun?
Well, I'll start with the last question, because that's the easiest one. Yeah, it's fun. And then we can back up and let's see, sleeping and exercising, and do you get scared? Getting scared, no. I think, you know, we just spend so much time training for it that by the time you get to the actual day of the launch, you're really just anxious to go more than anything else. So, you know, you get in the space shuttle and you're sitting there, if you're lucky, for 3 hours. So, you know, I don't know if you've ever sat on your back for 3 hours. But, you know, after about an hour or so, it becomes noticeable. So, you know, you're thinking, boy, I hope this thing goes on time because, you know, it's going to be another 2 hours if we do go on time. And if there's any kind of delay, it's going to be even longer than that. And the sooner I can get into, you know, a reduced gravity environment, that means I won't, you know, have this pressure on my back anymore. So at any rate, I guess maybe they incentivize it that way too. I've never thought about that. But yeah, it's, you know, we were just really looking forward to going. And then of course the ride up is just a tremendous rush. I mean, you're smiling the whole way up. It's, you know, just fantastic time. So, getting used to sleeping on orbit, of course, is a challenge for everybody. I was a first-time flyer. People who have been before, I think they adjust a little bit faster, but it probably took me about 2 or 3 days or so to get used to sleeping, because you're sleeping while you're floating. So, you know, I'm used to feeling something on one side or the other. And so what I eventually had to do is kind of wedge my sleeping bag between some bags, and so that I feel something on one side. That, you know, for me helped a lot. So, you know, so that's what it was like sleeping. And then exercising, I didn't see much of a difference between being on the ground and being on orbit, because it's actually nice. And I didn't get to work out on the advanced resistive exercise device. I only got to work out on the ergometer. But it was nice because when you're in space, you don't use your legs at all. So, you know, getting on the bike, I actually was using my legs, getting some resistance on the legs, so it actually felt very nice.
Space exploration has come a long way. I mean, in the 60s, there were only pilots, ex-pilots, test pilots, flying machines that had computers less powerful than my BlackBerry or my PlayStation 3. So now we can see a doctor and people that are not, well, pilots or specialized in flying. But which areas or expertise had the most chance to make it as an astronaut?
No, you just need to be in some, you know, technical areas, so math, science, engineering. There's the office, about 60% civilian, come from all different walks of life. You named, you know, all the different areas where there are people represented. I don't know the exact numbers, but, you know, for people I talk to who are on the selection board, they really don't sit there and you know, and bean count like that when it comes to, well, we need X number of doctors or whatever. They just sort of, you know, see what they got. They usually have the luxury, though, of picking, because they get thousands of applications, and you know, they just look and see who they think are the best people, and then basically they try to have, you know, some mixture so that they're not getting just all of the same thing, you know. And then really in going through in the selection process, probably the biggest thing that is used to kind of narrow down the number of people is the medical exam, to tell you the truth. Because you go through a pretty extensive physical exam in the process of, you know, they're evaluating you. And of course they have a pretty stringent set of medical criteria. So.
Dr. Satcher, hi, over here in the back.